When I get anxious, there are kind of two voices in my head. There's part of me that's really anxious and part of me that's saying, come on, you don't need to be worried about this. Chill out a little bit. If I was to put a character or a shape to these two things, they'd look like this. First up, you've got Anxious Ted. So Anxious Ted is me when I was 16-ish. He's got long curly hair, he's got a hoodie, baggy jeans, and he looks afraid of the world. And he goes, oh, what are you doing? This is so scary. Stop doing these things. What's wrong with you? That kind of thing. Then the next voice that pops up is Professor Ted. So Professor Ted smokes a pipe, but it blows bubbles. He wears glasses, roll neck cardigans, and he has a big book. And when Anxious Ted's kicking off, Professor Ted comes in like this. Really? Are we doing this again? Unsurprisingly, that tends not to calm Anxious Ted down. And it's not fair, because it isn't how I would talk to anybody else, anybody I care about, if they were feeling really anxious and upset. When I ask myself, the bit of me that I use for other people, for the people that I love, particularly my children, if that had a shape or a character, what would that be like? The answer would be Dad Ted, not Father Ted. When Anxious Ted is sort of doing all of this, and I ask myself, what would Dad Ted do here? Sometimes Dad Ted wouldn't say anything. He would just walk in, go over to him, go and stand with him, and put an arm around him. If he did say something, it'd be similar to what this guy's trying to say, which is, it's going to be okay. You don't need to worry about this. It's going to be all right. I promise. But it's not only what's being said, it's the tone of voice that we use. The tone of voice we use for ourselves tends not to be the same as the tone of voice we use for other people. And if we can use that, that's when we're really starting to use the compassion that we save for everybody else and take a little bit of that for ourselves.